Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to God Worshipping Society. This week, the world watched as our so-called leaders gathered in Davos, Switzerland, to attend the annual World Economic Forum. You will have noticed, I am sure, that someone was missing in attendance. Once again, I have been slighted by this demonic organization, which is nothing more than an attempt by neoclassical economists to turn themselves into a global clergy, a priesthood of scientistic nerds. Well, Davos, fuck you. Since I was unable, as the leader of a government in exile, the Holy Roman Union, to deliver my speech there, I will give it now, on this podcast, whose name will be remembered long after the town of Davos has been reduced to rubble, when the whole nation of Switzerland has been ransacked, all their hoards of Nazi gold taken from their cowardly clutches. Truly a bitch-made country. Now, this year's forum was anchored around 5 so-called themes. I'm not sure why they're called themes, because they're actually questions, but I guess these bitches like to maintain the same kind of language we all have to put up with in office meetings. Anyway, here are my answers to these questions. 1. How can we cooperate in a more contested world? Answer. To cooperate, we need a common purpose. The only such purpose we have is to unify around our mutual hatred of the demonic classes, especially neoclassical economists. I think we could all really get together and cooperate to put Klaus Schwab in a dunce's hat, parade him around a town square, and then scream at him whilst all holding a copy of Quotations from Chairman Applefeather. I'm not advocating physical violence, by the way. I'm just suggesting that we take these bitch-made financiers, industrialists, and politicians and completely break them down psychologically. 2. How can we unlock new sources of growth? Answer. This one is easy. We just have to eliminate non-productive labor. In other words, we force these bitch-made demons to do a real job in a farmer's cooperative somewhere. 3. How can we better invest in people? Answer. Another easy one. How about we just take all that Nazi gold you demons are holding onto and give it to the people so they can invest in themselves? 4. How can we deploy innovation at scale and responsibly? Answer. By getting rid of intellectual property. I can't be bothered to explain this one. You guys can connect the dots. 5. How can we build prosperity within planetary boundaries? Answer. I don't really know what this one means, but I guess it's about overpopulation. Well, I don't really see why we need people like Klaus Schwab, Larry Fink, or Borge Brende on this planet. Again, not advocating for violence. I believe that everyone, with the right levels of self-consciousness, will do their duty once they appreciate the circumstances. They just need to be brought to this level of awareness. So I return to my previous suggestion about parading people through public squares in dunces' hats. So there you go, guys. Not so bleak now, is it? Not so hopeless. There are real solutions to our problems. It's just that they happen to be the least convenient options for the people making the decisions. Anyway, on with the show.
Very good. I'm filled with hope.
Yeah.
That was rousing.
Did you see the sunglasses Emmanuel Macron was wearing?
Yes, what a pimp. He looked so cool.
He looked sick.
I
think
saw
he had a
some,
black eye or something.
Yeah, he had like a burst blood vessel or something, and I saw it was a comparison between Olaf Scholz, who wore the creepy Metal Gear Solid eye patch, and Emmanuel Macron wearing the sick-ass aviators.
Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah,
of course, the German chooses the eye patch.
Yeah, the caption was something like the difference between the way Germans and Frenchmen deal with their problems.
I think we saw the same one. Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah, it was an eventful conference this year. It seems.
I've never heard of this place, Davos. It sounds like it just reminds me of the leader of the Daleks from Doctor Who, Davros. And that's all I can think of.
Yeah, well, I guess the vibe is kind of there. I mean, this is if you're like a conspiracy theory, this whole Davos thing is like, that's the thing you keep an eye on every year when the
WEF.
Yeah, because this is where the Great Reset thing came from.
Yes, of course.
That was Klaus Schwab, the guy who was like a German industrialist who founded the WEF in 1971, I think. But that was his idea. It was like during the pandemic. I think it was at the 2020 Davos conference.
I know that was when that really got big, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he gave a speech, and before he gave a speech, there was like they played a video of now King Charles, but at the time Prince Charles, who was introducing it. And he was like, and now Klaus will give us a charming speech about the Great Reset. And if there's one thing you want to do to like get conspiracy theorists riled up, it's getting the royal family involved.
Yeah, the lizards.
Yeah, and I don't know who this conference is for, because it doesn't seem to be for the general public. It's a weird thing.
The famous soundbite that's what he said, right? That you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Was that that's the one I hear all the time? Yeah,
I think that's when they were talking about eating insects and shit for the environment,
getting in the pods and eating the bugs and doing the work.
Yeah. But it's weird because it's like clearly no one in the general public likes this event. No one.
It's fairly detached from like reality, isn't it?
It's so detached. So what is it for? It feels like it's basically an opportunity for large business owners to meet up with politicians and kind of talk about, how they're gonna. I don't know who it's for. Shareholders? It's not for the public. It's very confusing to me.
Yeah, I guess it's just to like help investor confidence in countries. Maybe I don't know. I really don't know.
That's probably what it is.
That's probably all it's there for. It's just to keep the loans coming in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that Britain can keep spending huge amounts on anything but important stuff.
Yeah. So we had that. What else has happened this week? We've had some Gestapo action.
Yeah, another one in America. Another person in Minneapolis. There you go. I said it right this time.
Why does it keep happening there? What is up with Minneapolis?
I don't know. I think they're putting a lot of agents into Minnesota. It's Minnesota, isn't it?
That's the city, yeah.
Minnesota is the state, and Minneapolis is the capital of Minnesota. So
I think the other way around.
They've just dumped loads of people, loads of ICE agents in there. And I don't know. I'm sure our listeners may have seen the video of this guy trying to help his mate who's getting like pushed around by ICE agents. He tries to help them, and the ICE agents tackle the guy to the floor, repeatedly beat him in the head, and then one of them mag dumps his pistol into the guy and pretty much kills him instantly. And it was a white man.
This is the thing. I mean, surely, like, for all the kind of American nationalists, this is annoying because, like, they were hoping the ICE people would go out and, like, genocide foreigners, and instead they're just killing white people.
Now they're just killing,
It's a bizarre situation.
He was an intensive care nurse too, so this really doesn't help the situation. It's not even like he was some heroin addict or fent hustler.
Yeah, some Untermensch.
Some weak loser.
It's getting very weird. It's all getting really weird. In fact, the past couple of weeks, I don't know if it's just my unemployment situation making it feel like this, but like everything seems to be really accelerating, It seems to be getting out of hand. With the Greenland thing, Trump, it started with the Epstein thing, which is probably why it's all getting out of hand.
I think it's deflection, isn't it? Send people in to shoot people in the streets, and they won't think about me being a nonce.
And threatened to invade Greenland.
Which became a nothing burger, obviously, because as insane Trump is, I don't think he's that mad to like go to war with Europe. It just doesn't do over Greenland. Like, I really don't think it's...
It's such a shitty place to even... I feel like it's probably expensive to own it. And it's probably not even worth it.
Yeah, I don't imagine the Danish get much out of it. I don't often hear about like huge drilling or excavation in Greenland. I mean, it may go on.
They could just be lazy though.
Yeah.
Maybe they just can't be bothered. What the fuck do the Danish do?
They're just holding on to it because they know when like climate change kicks off, Greenland is going to be the place to be.
Oh yeah, because it'll be a nice,
it would be
mild
lush
temperature
with all these minerals. We can import African children to mine lithium. That's when the Chinese will want it. If anyone gets a sniff of lithium in Greenland, the Chinese are going to be there, and they're going to be making Polaris electric cars.
I love those things, man. Those are so cool. Have you ever driven a Polaris around?
No, I've driven my dad's Kia e-Niro, which is electric as well. That they're so fast. Electric cars are really fucking quick.
Yeah, they're weird, and they accelerate differently, don't they? Like it's got a different feel to it when they accelerate.
You just touch your foot to the pedal and you just start going, like really
it's
quick.
like
There's no ramping up. No, you just start zipping forward. Pretty cool.
I worked in an electric car charger company for a while.
Yeah, I remember.
And that was that was an interesting job. That was such a it was a really weird vibe because the office felt like it felt like a TV show from like the 90s for young people.
Yeah.
Like Fame or something like that. Like a show. There was something really gay about it. I don't know how else to describe it. It was like, I don't know. People were too like stylish looking. Like people looked too cool for an office. It was weird, and it wasn't like a hipster vibe. It was like it felt like, so when I was a teenager, I was an actor. I was that was like my childhood career. I was kind of encouraged to do acting, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was a teenager, I'd always get sent off to like camp type things at like national youth theater and stuff.
Yeah.
Where I'd basically spend like 2 weeks in the summer with all these other teenagers who were trying to make it as actors, and and everyone understandably was pretty gay. I'm not putting myself outside of that characterization for the audience. And everyone, and we would all be dressed in like quite weird clothes, and like I don't know, and for some reason that job at that electric car charger company just really felt like that.
So what stuff would you do at this camp? How long was it?
When I was a teenager. It was all politics. It was just politics, basically. It was really weird. So the thing I did was National Youth Theatre, which is quite a big thing. If you're like a young actor, then that is kind of like the thing you do. Everyone wants to get in. Yeah, and there's like big mass auditions every year, and only a small amount of people actually get in. I managed to get in, and but I did a few like courses with them. Some of the courses were alright. Some of them were basically just drama workshops. I don't know. Did you ever do drama at school? Like for GCSE?
Did. Yeah, I really enjoyed drama as well. I didn't do it to
Did you do
GCSE, but I
Zip
did
Zap Boing? Did you do Zip Zap Boing?
I think we did something very similar. Is that where you have to like you're in a circle and you just have to?
Yeah. Man, there's so much of that when you're acting. It's so funny. But yeah, normally I'd go to like one or two courses in the summer, and I'd bring like a monologue that I was working on, and I'd always do like Shakespeare because that was what I was better at.
Your Laurence Olivier style.
Yeah, I would always do Hamlet basically. And yeah, you'd spend like 2 weeks working on it and developing your skills, which actually just meant playing Zip Zap Boing, workshopping, I remember one time they got this lady in to teach us. She gave a Shakespeare class for us one day, and she was like the kind of older woman who says that she's sex positive, and what that just means. That just means she owns loads of dildos, basically.
Yeah, just a bit of a pervert.
Yeah, and I remember she was explaining to us what iambic pentameter is. Now, iambic pentameter obviously is just the rhythm of ba-dum 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 ba-dum. It's just a meter for poetry. It's one of many that you can use. But she was explaining to us that she was like, do you know what iambic pentameter is? A lot of people have different ideas about what it is, but let me tell you what it really is. And then she started doing a gesture on her chest that was a heartbeat gesture. Like do-doom, do-doom, do-doom. And then she just looked at us and she went, That's what it is. And
Wow.
everyone was like, whoa.
That's profound as fuck.
Yeah. And then I remember, but the worst one I did was when I did the proper course after I got accepted into the theatre rather than the workshop.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-week course, and it was literally just politics. We spent every day, we were just learning about politics. And it was like, not intelligently, but the whole thing was like, right, guys, I want you to do an improvisation about immigration and racism. And then the next day it would be like,
yeah, I see.
guys, I want you to do a thing about sexism and blah, blah, blah. And it was all very like neoliberal.
It's
2010s.
preparing you to work on Coronation Street.
Yeah, exactly.
The next breed of Corrie actors was made in the National Youth Theatre.
Probably, I bet a lot of them do it, actually. But,
yeah, they're probably always looking for people.
You're just being taught by like failed actors, you know. It would have been cool if they brought in like good actors to kind of teach us, you know. If like they brought in Robert De Niro or something. Yeah, no, like like Al Pacino or something.
Some random guy,
some like Italian American guy who just does mafia films and stuff.
that would be pretty cool. Completely, yeah.
Yeah.
For Coronation
Street too.
Al Pacino and Corrie.
But I remember one time they were putting on, because they also stage plays that the public would pay to watch. And I never did that because I left pretty quickly. I gave up on it because it was like just so annoying, and I didn't really want to act, you know. So it was something I was kind of dragged into. But I remember one time the production they were putting on was a production of The Picture of Dorian Gray, you know, the Oscar Wilde novel. Mm-hmm. But they did something very clever for 2015, which is they decided to make Dorian and the other main character both women.
Wow. Fundamental.
It changes everything, obviously.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I remember we went to a Q&A with the director of the theater company. He was an adult. He was like a guy in his 50s or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone asked him like, so why did you change the genders around? And he just looked and he went, well, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, thanks.
I can't argue with that.
So you don't even have like a reason. You don't even have like a feminist reason. You're just saying like, I don't fucking know.
I made some money.
I remember that guy.
I don't know.
I remember that guy staring at me so intensely during that Q&A thing, even though I didn't ask a question or anything. And I was a very pretty 15-year-old. So
yeah, he probably could have made you play the female Dorian Gray, Dorothy Gray. At
his house for a
private show,
one-to-one. Yeah. Oh wow! I've slandered a lot of fucking people on this show, haven't I?
Yeah, but they don't know. I mean, considering the people we've called out, I think of all the powerful people we've called out, some guy who did a National Youth Theatre production of Dorian Gray is not the one to worry about.
It's a story, guys. I'm making this up.
It's
I'm
an
not
anecdote.
naming any names.
It's not.
It never happened.
It's anecdotal.
It's not real. Yeah. I'm a writer. It's fiction. It's pure fiction.
Exactly.
You know,
we'd have a disclaimer at the start of episode 12 that we're now on.
What British actors do you hate the most?
British actors?
Do you have any that really grind your gears?
No, I can't really think of.
I hate Stephen Fry.
Oh, I don't like Stephen Fry. No, he's a dodgy chap.
He's yeah.
I didn't mind him on
I don't
QI.
like him at all.
But then, you know, there weren't any young boys on QI.
No, whoa, I'm not. Now, look, I want to get this clear. Stephen Fry, he's not a nonce, okay?
No,
he's
I'm not saying he's a nonce.
Now, he's a married man. Now, that's it. It doesn't matter that his husband is 30 years younger than him and has an emo fringe. That's not relevant, okay? He's a normal guy.
This is fictionalized Stephen Fry. I think he's just a bit up his own arse.
And you know he wrote a play when he was a young man. Hold on, I've got to find this play. He wrote a play that is about, it's kind of like a homosexual Lolita, I guess.
I didn't know about this. If one more person though shows me Stephen Fry on God, that one interview where he's like, I will just explode if one more person says, I love Stephen Fry, have you seen this? And I have to watch that fucking video again.
Flies that lay eggs in children's eyes?
It's disgusting.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? Listen, prick, why don't you read the fucking Theodicy by Leibniz and get a fucking grip, you untheological Philistine.
Yeah, go and rewrite the Iliad again.
He wrote a play called Latin, or Tobacco and Boys.
Tobacco and Boys.
Yeah. Let me just find a description of the plot for this play. Okay. Latin or Tobacco and Boys is a 1979 British play written by Stephen Fry.
Right.
It is about life at the fictional Chartham Park Preparatory School for Boys, a prep school in England, and ends up in Morocco via a pederastic relationship between a teacher and a 13-year-old student. Okay?
Wow. Yeah.
Why would you write that?
No. Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I'm not saying I know why he wrote it or that he had a reason to write it.
But he
I'm just
did
putting
write
the question out there. Why would you write that? And also, the pederasty aside, can I just say I really hate. Listen, I went to public school. I fucking hate the people at public school who loved it, who were like, who. We had at my school. There was a group of guys who are probably going to hear this at some point because it'll probably get down.
It'll disseminate. Well, eventually everyone will hear this.
Oh yeah. This is gonna, in the same way that everyone's heard Hamlet.
Yeah, this will be well known in hundreds of years. But these monologues you've been writing will be done by the National Youth Theatre many years from now.
Yeah. No, but there was this group of guys, and so at my school, once you got to sixth form, you had to wear a suit.
Yeah,
basically.
Same with me.
And there was this group of guys who would do this thing called Tweed Thursdays, right? And so they would wear a tweed jacket every Thursday, and you could just tell, like, it pissed me off because I've always been with the zeitgeist. All right,
yeah.
People might think I use a lot of anachronisms in my speech or whatever. Okay, I do, but in like a techno way,
Yeah.
Like it's, when I say stuff that sounds medieval, it's like, yeah, because it's techno feudalism, Yeah. So really, I'm moving forward with the times, just in a dialectical way. These people know they're just LARPing as someone from the fucking past.
Yeah,
it is unbearable. It's so annoying.
So we had to wear suits from fifth form. But they could only be grey, and then sixth form you could wear whatever suit you liked. And it was an all-boys secondary school, obviously. But in sixth form, the girls' school could join with the boys' school. And so me and my chums, being the massive fucking nerds we are, we thought it would be cool for us all to come in on the first day of sixth form wearing hats. And we were all assigned a different hat. I don't even remember what I chose. I think I wanted to go with the top hat, because I was classy like that. And my friend, he wanted to wear the flat cap because he was a bit of a working man. He wasn't, obviously. This was in Hertfordshire.
Yeah.
But, it was all that style. And then one day, I think I sort of saw them and I was like, guys, this sounds really gay. I don't think we can pull this off. We're going to be...
You pulled out.
We're going to be the bunch of nerds rocking up. The girls have just joined, and we're going to be the antithesis of cool if we all turn up wearing hats. And so we never did.
No pussy.
No,
yeah, well,
that would have been pussy. Just
do you remember?
Do you
remember that Singaporean guy at uni who would wear a full suit with a cane?
I will never forget him. He was Taiwanese. My little Taiwanese fascist mate. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like a gang of other guys, and they all wore like three-piece suits and had canes. And
if you just imagine what sort of Tory society would look like, it was these guys.
Oh yeah, it was Tory society. Yeah.
I don't even know if they were, to be honest. I think they were on their own. Like, it was basically just Jacob Rees-Mogg cosplaying.
It was like the Edmund Burke Society or something.
Yeah.
Wait, were they not in the Mises Society? I think that's what it was.
Maybe. I remember one day he came to me and said, "Would you like to join our new Bullingdon Club Society?" And I said, "No,
bruh,
I'd really rather not." Yeah, this is wrong.
None of us got into Oxbridge. Like,
This was while I was washing pots at a pub as well. He was like, "Oh, Felix,
Yeah.
can I just catch you for a sec? I have something to ask you." And then he showed me the rules, and they were like, bit of raping on the weekend. I was like, dude, what even is this? Is this a joke?
Yeah.
I think he got done in the
Irony
end.
poisoned. He got done.
Well, I think
What does that mean?
someone, busted him for this plan.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think it got shut down pretty quick.
There was a Mises Society at our uni, and Mises...
As in, like, MISES? The, like...
Yes.
Yeah.
He's an economist. Ludwig von Mises.
Yes, okay,
That's,
yeah.
So it's like a libertarian thing. He was like the main guy behind the Austrian School of Economics, which is basically just like hyper autistic economics.
Yeah, of course.
Where like you basically make a bunch of assumptions about human behavior, which is basically you're assuming that everyone's as autistic as you are, and then you construct a theory about how society works based on that, and the result is like a model of society, of just a hyper autistic society.
It's just ants, basically.
Yeah, just ants who are constantly calculating like what would be the most efficient thing for them to purchase or sell at any given moment, and that's
Little
like
did
all
he
that
know
humans
Warhammer would appear. And people would wank their money away.
Exactly. Or drugs,
Or drugs, Pheromones. Artificial pheromones in ant society. For any ants listening, that's basically what drugs are.
Well, the problem with the libertarians is that the thing that would throw their autistic society out of the way is, of course, underage girls.
Yeah.
That's the
kicker.
Crux of the problem for libertarians. Is that they assume human rationality in economic matters, but that rationality goes completely out of the window the moment a 10-year-old girl appears. It's just, especially if she's Japanese. That's game over.
They never
human
predicted
rationality.
weeaboos.
No.
Mises should have thought about this.
There was a Mises Society at our uni. There definitely was. I could not imagine how that would have smelt.
There's some really weird societies. I've really disconnected from any of that shit now. I just cannot be bothered.
Yeah.
There was a big kerfuffle about ratifying Israel Society recently.
Oh, Israel Society. Oh my god. Could you imagine that one?
There was a huge kerfuffle because people tried to get them to not do it, and then they went over everyone's heads and did it anyway, and everyone's complaining. I don't give a fuck.
Wait, who did what? Like the uni ratified the...
So the SU ratified Israel Society despite the council, I don't know, the wise council of 5 voting against it, and they just kind of did it anyway. Because, all the Friends of Palestine and all these other societies that have really dodgy sounding names said don't do it or we'll commit a hate crime or whatever.
Yeah.
But they did it anyway.
What do they do in Israel Society? What they should do is they should
probably start taking over Friends of Palestine Society. Hopefully.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Start turning up to their socials and being like, now this is our bit.
Yeah, this is our social now.
Forming kibbutzes in their new neighborhoods.
Birthright trips.
Yeah. Building walls.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, with the university societies building walls.
Yeah, just start taking over various parts. This is getting a little bit 1933 now, I feel.
Yeah. Well, the whole world is, man. That's
America is going a bit... Yeah, it's going full Gestapo.
Yeah.
People just being shot in the street. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. We stay cheery.
Well, things are good because this podcast is out now, which really is the solution to all the problems.
And we certainly won't have a lack of things to talk about for a while.
No, exactly.
I was thinking about the news, to be honest.
Well, let's just talk about the podcast for a moment.
Okay, let's reflect, shall we? Let's reflect.
I was trying to figure out who are we, what is our style, because we are developing a bit of a style now. And I was thinking about the history of podcasts, and I was thinking about rock music because that was because we're kind of like rock stars,
basically.
Yeah, same kind of lifestyle and everything.
Yeah, same trousers.
Yeah. And I was thinking, the guy who really kickstarted podcasting, love him or hate him, it was Mr. Joe Rogan.
It was.
Let's be honest.
He certainly made
No one gave a fuck about podcasts before him. Yeah. So he's the Elvis, right?
Yeah.
And then After that, you had like the late 2010s, like edgy podcasts. You know, you had your Come Town, your Red Scare. They were like the Velvet Underground of podcasts.
Okay.
Right? It's New York Underground, you know. And what we are, I've realized, is we are the Emerson, Lake and Palmer of podcasts.
Right, okay. Yeah.
You know, we got the synths with the classical music.
Yeah, we're making it weird.
That's literally, we're English.
We're English,
you know,
yeah. I was going to say
class.
sort of Black Sabbath vibes, but I guess Emerson, Lake and Palmer is very good too, although there's only two of us.
I think Black Sabbath would be a lot cooler, to be fair. Maybe we should do that. We should go for more
we
of like
should
a
be
Doom.
Black Sabbath. Yeah. I mean, we profess Doom frequently every week. We keep people informed, you know, bit of social movement going on, social activism by laughing at horrible news events.
Yeah,
that's
by
that edgy side.
any kind of ability to seriously engage with current events.
Yeah,
just
but then we have our plans. You know, we have
it
these huge plans that are completely serious.
If people just get behind us, we could really build something. You know?
And do lots of cocaine.
Yeah, like Black Sabbath. Do you ever hear the story about
cocaine?
Do you ever hear the story when they were recording, like, I think it was Master of Reality, and they were recording at the same time as the Eagles were recording in the same studio?
I have, but feel free. Let's hear it one more time.
Yeah. And Black Sabbath would, like, go into the studio after the Eagles had their session, and, like, they wouldn't be able to use the mixing consoles because they were just clogged up with cocaine. And, like, Black Sabbath was saying, like, these guys do too much cocaine.
Yeah, you know that. That's when your dealer tells you to slow down. That's when you got to take a second to reflect.
I don't even know any songs by the Eagles. What do they do? Free Bird?
It's Hotel California. No, that's Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Oh yeah,
isn't Hotel
Lynyrd
California the
Skynyrd,
Eagles?
Yeah, you're right. How are they doing like harder drugs more often than Black Sabbath?
It's Joe Walsh, isn't it? So he did. Joe Walsh did a couple of songs that I know. I can't remember the name of it now.
I don't even know Joe Walsh.
Life's Been Good. That's quite a famous one. Life's been.
That sounds
good
like a rap
to
song.
Me so far.
That sounds like the title to a rap song. Do you know who I've been listening to recently?
99% of Google users like this album. So, what can we say against 99% of Google users?
Nothing.
What have you been listening to lately?
I've been listening to Serge Gainsbourg. You ever heard of that guy?
Actually, yes. The name rings a bell.
This guy is funny as shit. He was like the most French guy ever. Complete alcoholic.
Was it classical?
There's no. He did like French pop music, basically.
Okay.
He basically all of his songs are basically the sound of a Hammond organ, and then him just kind of mumbling over it, and then a woman coming in the background. Like, that's just all of his songs.
I feel like we've spoken about this before, because I think I've listened to some of this music, and I think it's you who set me listening to it.
I only recently got into it, so it might have been someone else.
Maybe it was someone else.
He did the song that's Je t'aime, you know that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was hideous.
Yeah,
but he was getting hella pussy. Yeah, but he is like a cool vibe. There's a really funny video of him in the 80s when he's like old and really alcoholic. And it's like some big event, and the host is with what's her name? The lady who did I Wanna Dance with Somebody. You know Whitney Houston, yeah. And he's like to her, like, come on and meet Monsieur Gainsbourg. He would love to meet you. And then he like takes Whitney Houston across the stage, and Serge Gainsbourg is sat on a sofa, and you can tell he's fucking wasted.
Yeah.
And she sits down, and he like mumbles something in French, and then the host is like, he says he likes you very much. You are great. And then Serge Gainsbourg is like, no, I did not say that. I said I want to fuck you.
Oh, God.
He starts like kissing her hand and like caressing her hair, and she looks terrified. It's
the French don't help themselves today.
It's the most French thing ever. But he like, after he says that, he like turns to look at the audience and just like starts cracking up. And the audience are all like, wow, this is high art.
This is groundbreaking.
Incredible. Yeah.
I've been listening to, obviously, black metal as usual, but I've also been listening to a bit of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. I don't know why it popped into my head
nice.
the other day, but I fancied 2001 again, and I was listening to Doggy Style as well.
Have you been smoking weed again?
I haven't. No, I haven't. But this is making me want
to. Yeah, I know. It's really hard, isn't it? When you hear that album, you're like,
God damn.
It's so...
Wish I had a fat blunt.
So much better.
This would sound sick with a blunt in my mouth. But
and then you actually do smoke some weed and you get horribly paranoid and you're like, I can't listen to music right now. I need to turn all the lights off and just go to sleep.
Just close my eyes.
Yeah, and it's
and watch a video about the Second World War. Watch The World at War, narrated by Laurence Olivier. That will make me feel
that's
better.
a classic. Yeah, and then you just get horribly unhappy.
Yeah, and then you wake up the next morning, you're like, fuck, I want some weed.
Yeah.
That was how it was for me anyway. I'd be like, this is awful. And then sober up and be like, damn, I want some more. Don't know why.
So don't go listening. Well, it's the same thing with alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess
when you're hungover and you're like, yeah, literally. So don't go listening to 2001 guys. I was listening to Playboy Carti earlier today. Where actually I was listening to him when I wrote the monologue.
I remember when you were really into Playboy Carti, and I did try and get into it a bit. I think that's when we were very into Call of Duty.
That was in 2020 when a whole lot of Red had just come out.
Yeah, I remember us playing a lot of COD.
He was really like on top of the game then. That was really when he was like dominating the rap scene. I was listening to his last album though, which came out last year. Not as good, but it's if you need to write like a hateful, vitriolic sermon for your podcast, pretty good album.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, it's got a lot more features on it. Like Future is on it quite a lot. Future's pretty good. Kendrick Lamar's on it, but I don't really like Kendrick Lamar. It seems a bit lame to me.
I don't really vibe with a lot of this like this modern rap. I don't know, without wishing to sound
Kendrick Lamar is like rap music that feels like it's sponsored by Kamala Harris. It's got like a lame kind of political angle to it. I don't like that. I like my rappers to be like nihilistic drug addicts who are just threatening to kill me over their songs.
666 Mafia all the way.
Yeah. I want to hear a guy say, like, I'm going to murder you, I'm going to kill all your friends, they're going to miss you, the ones who aren't killed, and then I'm going to fuck your girlfriend, and, that's...
And your mother.
And I'm way richer than you. And I'm like, yeah, this goes hard.
Yeah, this is sick, actually.
This goes really hard. Although the UK rappers who are just talking about, like doing, like, medieval shit, it's like, I just wet man with a sking.
Yeah, they do that, but then all the euphemisms they use just sound really gay.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help. I know they're trying to be hard and try and sound hard, but it is just a lot of, like, wetting up man's face. And all this stuff. It's like, what? You're going to do what?
It's like, there are compilations of that. Of just, like, a lot of the lyrics are just really bad as well. They're, like, really dumb. But they never flex as much as the American rappers. It's more
like a bit of drill. I try not to listen to it when I'm driving, though, because it does make me a worse driver, for sure. There's a couple of songs I quite... Yeah, definitely. Or just, being a bit riskier.
Did you ever see that video of Chief Keef getting stopped in, like, 2015 or 2014? I was very into Chief Keef at the time. He was, like, my hero, obviously. Yeah. And there's a video of him getting stopped. He's got, like, a Lamborghini or something. And he gets stopped because he's speeding, and the cop takes him out and is like, "Do you know how fast you're going?" And he was like, "No, I don't know." And the cop says, "How fast?" And Chief Keef just says, like, "Yeah, it's a fast car." It's like,
I do like Chief Keef as well. Chief Keef made some good
music.
The
best. I think of all the trap rappers, Chief Keef, number one. He's the best. He didn't invent, but he was like the first drill rapper to get big back when drill was a Chicago thing. When he was like 16. It's like, must have been so weird for him. I remember at the time, the rumor was that he was autistic. That's the rumor that was going around.
Scandalous.
Which made it so much cooler. Like, for me, that just made him seem so much cooler. Because it's like a prodigy, like Mozart or something.
Mozart, but he just smokes loads of blunts and drives fast cars.
He smokes 2 ounces a day, apparently. Which is pretty funny.
I think I remember watching some interview with you.
Yeah, no, I think it's like he's with Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg's like, "How much do you smoke in a day?" And he's like, "Oh, about 2 ounces." Like,
And even Snoop Dogg's like, "Are you sure? That's a lot." He's
yeah,
like, nah.
he like tells him to stop. He's like, "You gotta slow down."
It's like, that's an insane amount.
Yeah, I bet his blunts are just filthy as well. I bet they're like not ground up at all, just
the whole plant
licked way too hard, just sloppy. Yeah, but shout outs to Chief Keef, a true pioneer.
Chief Keef.
Who I bet he's not. How old is he? He was 16 in like 2012, and now it's 2026.
Yeah, he's 30 now.
He's only 30.
Yeah,
and he's like an OG rapper. It's like
he had a daughter when he was 16.
KK. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm all up on my Chief people.
And then he had 9 children by his early 20s, apparently.
I remember when I was 13 or 14 at school, on Facebook, I would find people who lived in Chicago at like O Block, which is the block where Chief Keef is from, and I'd send them friend requests, and they would actually accept them, and then I'd like have conversations with them about Chief Keef and like stuff, just talking to some random guy from O Block. Some 14-year-old in Dorset.
I'm really into this guy. Can you tell me more about him?
Who's like code switching to talk to some guys. And they never even asked any questions. They were never like, "Why are you talking to me?" They would just be
Did
like...
they know you were just some boy, like some lad from Dorset?
Yeah, I had a profile picture and everything. They probably thought it was funny as well.
Yeah,
I remember there was one guy, I was friends with him for ages, and I'd listened to his mixtapes and stuff. He was called Sir Quiz Oberlacker. So if anyone... if anyone wants to look that up, just to verify that I'm not bullshitting when I tell this story, I was good friends with him. He'd always go on, like, he'd always post videos of himself, like, driving while smoking a fat blunt, like, through Chicago. Yeah, and, like, I remember he asked me, like, why are you talking to me? And I was like, I got homies in Chicago, I'm trying to link up. And he was like, yo, hit them up. And I was like, no, I can't. That's just, like, talking out.
They don't have phones.
He must have known, like, this is... Because it must have said on my Facebook profile, like, lives in Dorset, England. It's like... fucking stupid. Yeah.
I've got to
shout
say
out to Sir Quiz Oberlacker.
Yeah, shout out to my guy. The news of the moment is like really boring. The front headline is Andy Burnham not being allowed to stand as an MP. Like, that's what's important at the moment. I don't know. The Labour Party's not letting him stand. I guess because he wants to replace Keir Starmer.
Oh.
So they're trying to stop him from becoming an MP.
That sounds a bit totalitarian, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I mean, Andy Burnham looks really lame as well, to be honest.
Is he one of Corbyn's guys who was like... Did he have like a shadow cabinet?
Let me send you a photo and we can make all of our opinions of him based entirely on this photo. There you go.
I'm pretty good at physiognomy.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks
He's got a bit of a dad bod. You can see his sort of moobs poking through there.
Unfortunately, because of his haircut, I can't take measurements on his skull.
No.
So I can't confirm.
He does look like Keir Starmer, to be honest. The glasses and the hair are like exactly the same.
That's so true. Do you think he's like trying to look like Keir Starmer to get allowed into the party?
Yeah, I think.
Do you think he thinks if he shows up looking like that, they won't notice it? They'll think it's Sir Keir Starmer, and then he just goes,
"Hello."
He just walks into number 10.
Yeah. Oh, you're here, sir. Sadiq Khan has urged Labour not to block him being a candidate. Typical fucking Sadiq Khan.
Bring back our nightlife, Sadiq Khan. That's my message. Athelfeather's message to Sadiq Khan.
There you go. That's quite the photo there. Just sent him and Angela.
I love her. She's so cool.
I don't know what they're hopefully doing karaoke.
Yeah. I think she's really cool. I really like her. And I only liked her more after the whole fraud thing came out. I thought that was sick.
The sleaze really helped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was with.
Yeah.
He was one of Jezza's people back in 2015.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they probably don't want to Wow, the comments. This makes Starmer look beyond weak. Now he's toast. Well, Thomas Buckland, I'm not sure about that, buddy.
Who gives a fuck? Why are you even commenting on that? I don't care.
The Times comment section. 5 hours ago, the boomers were going crazy in the Times comment section.
Yeah.
Ridiculous decision. Starmer hastens his demise. Surely this is prolonging his demise by not... It's like saying,
keeping out
you're
people who would vote
unloading the
against
gun,
him.
that you're going to shoot yourself in the head. What are you insane? Now you're done.
Yeah.
This is it.
Because now no one will trust you to know that you really would shoot yourself in the head. They don't know that you've got the conviction to be able to deliver on
and
that
now they
promise.
hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Bitch.
don't understand why people think this is some crazy move. Fucking politics, man.
Because
Really,
they just get riled up about literally anything. Like, it doesn't matter what the reality of it is.
It's
Who
such a
gives
catch-22
fuck?
as well. Everyone's saying, like, now Starmer's showing that he's so weak that he can't handle someone trying to challenge him. But it's like, wait, but then if he does challenge, what? It's just such...
They just want to criticize. They'll criticize anything that Keir Starmer has done. That's all it is. You know, it's so stupid. It's like, now he's finished. It's like, people have been saying that about Donald Trump for 10 years.
So there's a Times survey here on the approval rate, average net approval ratings of party leaders, right? Who do you think is at the top?
Farage?
No.
Or Polanski?
It's Polanski at -8, with Ed Davey
Right.
also at -8. It's
Well,
it's
easier
good.
for Ed Davey.
Yeah.
Like, you've got barely anyone supporting you anyway.
You know it's good when, like, the approval ratings, the highest one is -8.
That's politics, isn't it?
And a certain someone who's been soaring ahead from -25% in October to -11% now is Kemi Badenoch. She's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know why though.
I don't know. Kemi
What the
Badenoch's
fuck is
kind
the
of
deal with her?
She's all right. She's pretty good in, like, question time and stuff. I don't know. I mean, maybe
it's
people are
easy when
realizing
you're in
that
the
reform.
opposition.
Yeah, I guess so. People are realizing maybe
It's
reform
probably more
are
that.
obviously mental and need some kind of sensible candidate. And the Tories,
Yeah.
even though they've been blown out the water, because Farage has now dropped to -17%. So
Well, that would be why. That explains it completely. It's just the people... It was former Tories who shifted to reform, now shifting back to the Tories.
I was
'cause they're
thinking,
like,
Jesus Christ.
these people can't run a party. They're just, like, random and, like, nutcases for the most part.
Yeah. And Keir Starmer trailing at -50% approval rate.
Man,
not
that must
looking
be
good.
just a horrible job. What do you think goes through his head when he wakes up in the morning and it's like, fuck, everyone hates me?
You've got to wonder how much he even sleeps. I mean, I would not want to be prime minister. I mean, it's just people hating you, isn't it?
I don't know why you would do it.
whatever you do, no one's going to like you.
Yeah, and you can't even have a cult of personality to, like, make people like you. You
And
know,
everyone
you
in
can't
your
do
party
propaganda.
hates you because they're all politicians who are desperate to be the leader of the party. Everyone thinks they can do a
Yeah.
better job. Even fucking Clarence in the Times thinks he's going to do a better job.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But you know what? I care about men's mental health.
Yeah.
So I say, lay off Sir Keir Starmer. He is a friend of the show.
Sir Starmer.
We've had him on. He was one of our first guests.
Yeah,
and
he did
you
the
know, he
monologue
did a
at
really
one
good
point.
job.
He gave a
Yeah, he
beautiful
gave us-
speech.
Yeah, and they're now playing this podcast in schools all around the country.
Yeah.
Uh,
If only when he came on he did 6-7, we could have been on the news.
Oh, yeah. No, but the news will never... This is a saying, audience. This show is huge. Like, you know, all the top players, all the big players around the world are involved or, you know, talking to us or, you know, asking to come on and stuff. But the mainstream media won't tell you that. They're hiding it. So there's a big cover-up, you know. On Spotify, the figures of how many people are listening to this, completely untrue. It's actually AI generated, the figures they're coming up with. You know,
Slander.
it's yeah, in the real world, but which you can't access because, you know, it's the phenomenal wall of appearances that's hiding it from you. But in the world of platonic ideas, this podcast is thriving and doing very well. Yeah.
Yeah. So please leave us a review to break through.
Get out
this.
that cave.
Get out the
Pierce
cave.
the veil.
Pierce the veil.
Pierce
what a
the
band.
veil. What band was that? Were they
It
Welsh?
was. I don't know. I know some of their songs.
I feel like a lot of those kinds of bands were Welsh. For some reason.
California. I think you're thinking that because of the baby rapists.
No, but there are other bands from like Wales, I swear, that are of that. Where's Avenged Sevenfold from? I bet none of these bands
American.
are from Wales.
Avenged
with a name
Sevenfold
like that.
definitely American.
What's your go-to to listen to when you're drinking by yourself and you're very unhappy? What's your like go?
Probably Harakiri for the Sky, who are. Did we see them together? I think we did.
I think we did. Yeah,
in the Underworld in Camden.
Yeah.
American, very.
Yeah, that was fucking
I'm
loud.
Norwegian, very grumpy black metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very depressing.
For me, it's Creed or Serge Gainsbourg.
Or Serge
Depending on, like, how horny I am. Yeah.
Depends if you're depressed and horny or not.
Yeah. If I'm just depressed and like drunk, then Creed really knocks it out of the park. Or if I'm really depressed, it will be Nightcore versions of Creed songs. that really gets me going. Yeah,
Nightcore always gets me
Higher
going.
by Creed, but Nightcore, yeah.
Do you want to hear this is an absolute zinger of a headline. Alleged rapist admits he was jealous of texts from Baron Trump. Wow.
What? Baron Trump?
Yeah, so apparently the other day, Baron Trump was on FaceTime with some girl in London, and she was attacked, and he called the police to help her from, I don't know, America or whatever. So this is obviously Baron Trump's bit of like UK poon that he was sexting, and she got attacked. Matvey Rumiantsev was seen physically attacking the woman during a FaceTime call with the US president's son.
What?
A man accused of raping and attacking a close friend of Baron Trump has admitted he was jealous to some extent of her friendship with the US president's son.
Man, his lawyer must suck, because that is like that just doesn't help your case at all.
Baron Trump, 19, called the emergency services in the UK, telling a call handler she was getting beaten up.
What the fuck?
There you go.
This is so insane. This is so weird.
It really is. Good old Baron Trump really helping UK-US relations here.
I remember when he was a young'un with his fidget spinner. You know?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
And now he's like, looks like the God Emperor because he's about 10 fucking feet tall.
Well, I have a theory about what they're doing, which I've spoken about before, not on the podcast, but maybe on my Substack, I think.
Right.
I think what's going on... So, are you familiar with The Worm?
The Worm?
Yeah, the basketball player, The Worm. What's he
no,
called?
I'm not.
The guy who's completely fucking crazy. The guy who... Wait, let me just find his name.
The Worm basketball. Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, okay. So Dennis Rodman, right?
I know Dennis Rodman.
He is... Yeah, he's awesome. Great athlete and a great personality. He actually married himself once. Yeah, but Dennis Rodman is like an ambassador for North Korea.
Yes, yeah, that's what I know about him, yeah.
Kim Jong-un fucking loves basketball.
Yeah.
So what I think they did with Baron is I think they were pumping him full of growth hormones so that he could do diplomatic work in North Korea.
And so
because if he's very tall, well, he'll get into the NBA. You know, and then they'll be able to send him out there, and that will kind of kickstart his political career. That's what I think is going on. Anyway. Yeah, it's. I mean, I can't. There's no other explanation because no man can be that tall naturally. I mean,
he is freakishly tall. He towers over Trump, and Trump's like over 6 foot, I think.
He's like 6'2", I think. You know, and that is also, you know, not real. Like, you know, I mean,
it's probably.
I have this problem. One sec. Okay. Sorry, I dropped my vape.
Oh God!
No, I mean, I have this trouble with my height because people say I'm 5'9", and what they don't realize is that I'm actually just a lot further away from them than they realize. You know, it's like when you're driving past the field with cows in, and they look like they're the size of ants. You know.
Yeah.
And it's
I have that problem
it's just because Yeah, I'm just always a lot further away than people realize.
Yeah.
You know, I'm about 6'8", I think.
Yeah,
but I look,
I'm a bit shorter. I'm like 6'5". But no one's
It's an
actually measured
optical
me up
illusion.
close. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just standing further away, and because I'm so tall, like freakishly tall, they can't imagine that I'm just standing far away. They have to assume that I'm a
Yeah,
lot shorter.
the mind just fills in the blanks and thinks 5'9".
Yeah, and you know, it's also an irrational thing. I mean, you know, we're talking about women. You know, it's they don't want to accept
Right, yeah,
that
yeah.
I could be this handsome and this tall, because
Yeah,
then it
the
makes them
perfect
feel bad
package.
about their boyfriend or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, who's only 6'4" or something.
Some pathetic 6'4" dweeb.
Some manlet.
Some manlet.
But really,
exactly.
I'm just far away. Optical illusions, guys, look into it. It's a real phenomenon.
Yeah, so good on Baron Trump. We're all very proud of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Apparently he's really... Donny said he's very good with technology. Donald Trump
that's
said
just
once...
what every old guy says about his son, though.
I think the story was that once he turned off Baron's laptop, and when he went back in, Baron had turned his laptop back on. And Trump was like, it's amazing.
He's a
really
genius.
good with tech. He turned his laptop back on. I don't know how he does it. So yeah.
Shouts to Baron Trump. And shout outs to his lady friend in London.
She's 22 apparently, so Baron likes a cougar.
Yeah, how old is he? 18?
He's 19.
He's only 19.
He's only 19.
Man. I feel like Trump's going to die in this term.
He tried to get... did he interview Aiden Ross, the Twitch streamer? I think Baron Trump like set up an interview. Because I don't know, I just guess he likes Twitch.
Or was that with the Nelk boys? I think it might have been with them.
Who the fuck are the Nelk boys?
They interviewed Netanyahu.
Oh, okay.
They're like full send, those guys. They're just like you know, frat guys that never grew out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then for some reason they started doing interviews with like Benjamin Netanyahu and Trump and stuff like that. It's pretty weird. Yeah.
Donny said he's 6'9",
Shouts to the Note boys.
apparently.
That is freakish. That's actually like too tall.
Just over 2
like,
meters.
I mean, that's like at the point where it starts to be unhealthy and you get like problems. Like you don't live that long because you're too tall. You know.
He's like a superhuman.
It's like the people with giantism, and you look at them and like they're fucked. Like, you know, they can't walk properly and stuff. They've got like crutches and things, and it's like, damn. It's like their organs that can't grow enough to fill up the space in their body, and then they just like die when they're like 30.
Baron Trump's so cool.
Would you rather have like gigantism or be a dwarf?
I don't know. Now, obviously, as someone who is already freakishly tall, as we've previously discussed, maybe I'd have dwarfism for a change. I don't know. Gigantism's definitely cooler, isn't it?
Is it? I feel like the dwarves have more fun.
Yeah, you probably get good work as a dwarf.
Yeah. And there's a lot more of them, so like you're more likely to find a soulmate who's also a dwarf.
Yeah, that's true. And to be honest, yeah, I could probably get by. I don't think I'd rather be either, to be honest.
I would thrive in that situation.
I bet you would, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. It's like that thing. Like, well, would you rather lose like your sight or your hearing, or you know,
or just all of it? Just go Helen Keller on these bitches.
Yeah, cut my legs off, cut my arms off, go deaf, blind,
fuck my
dumb.
shit up.
Just fuck me up.
Just make me mentally disabled as well. Just throw. Yeah, I'll
just turn me into like a computer at that point. Like all I am at that point is just a brain. Like there's nothing else going on. I just
like,
eat shit
like
and
a
think.
dumb Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I can't even talk. At least he had eyes. And
at least he could like theorize about black holes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. In fact, do you know what? I'll tell you what. In that case, people probably think I'm the smartest guy ever because I just sit there, deaf, dumb, blind, no limbs, just thinking all the time, and like steam would be coming off my head. They'd be like, "God, whatever's going on up there must be amazing."
Yeah, it would be like a Buddhist thing.
I'm just thinking
maybe
about
these
Iwo Jima.
Buddhist monks. Yeah. Maybe these Buddhist monks. These Buddhist monks just like haven't gone far enough, you know. Like if you're really ascetic and you really want to deprive yourself of indulgence,
blind yourself.
Yeah, you know, not like inject yourself with something that gets rid of all physical sensation. You know, get paralyzed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's the path to spiritual growth.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you're blind, your hearing gets really good, right? So when you have no senses, you're just superhuman.
Your immaterial self, your soul, gets really strong.
Exactly.
Because you're basically dead, so you've already left this world.
Yeah,
so
you're basically not it.
Yeah. So just kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's the solution. That's
transcend your soul. Free your soul from this material plane. Ascend. And yeah.
And when you get to the pearly gates and Saint Peter's like, can't let you in, mate, you committed suicide, that's a sin. You say to him, look, I did it because God worshipping society told me to. And then he's like, oh, no way.
Oh, fuck, yeah, I haven't listened to the latest episode. He must have said it in that.
Yeah, get the fuck in here. We all listen to that up here.
That's all we do.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So, speaking of which, that's pretty much the time.
Yeah,
I think we've rambled quite a lot. The news has been pretty dull this week. For any of you listen actually to know what's going on in the news, pretty much nothing.
Yeah, and if you're actually keeping up on this stuff, especially if you're commenting, like, come on, man, don't be a nerd.
Yeah, let's keep alienating our viewers. Oh, on the Times or on our podcast.
Anything. Oh no! Comment on this because this is the only good source of news you actually.
This is the only place for this true discussion. Free discussion is the comment section of the latest GWS episode.
Yes, we are. You know, we fact check everything.
Yeah,
and we are progressive. We're committed to progressive discourse, progressive intersectional discourse. Yeah. You know, I've never mentally left 2020. I'm still there. I'm still listening to Playboi Carti.
Please append all mental and physical health conditions when you comment. Your race, your lived experiences, because we need to know whether your comment is valid. Obviously, all comments are valid, but some are more valid than others.
What your parents did for a job, you know, were they earners or were they on
socioeconomic background?
Were they on benefits? You know, any inherited trauma. Maybe you've got maybe you're 1% Iroquois and you've inherited the trauma of you know, getting scalped by another tribe of Native Americans.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some Russian.
Neanderthal DNA and you know, you remember the hard times of traipsing through France to get to Britain, which must have been very hard.
Yeah. Mammoths. Not good. Mammoth. Yeah. Man moth.
Man moths?
Yeah.
If you've encountered any man moths or moth
maybe you're a cryptid.
Yes. If so, please drop us a comment. We're interested to find out.
Maybe
if you're a dwarf in Switzerland and you've fought any dragons recently, let us know. Anyone else we've missed out on?
Women. If you're a woman, please comment.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to just be another podcast that's only for men.
This isn't a broadcast. We are open.
No. This is a people cast.
This is a people cast. Yeah. This is a womb havers, period havers podcast.
Absolutely. Yes. Preach. Slay.
I'm woke as fuck.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for our insightful episode. Which one is this? 12?
This is 12. This is my lucky number. 12 is my lucky number, so I think this has been a good one.
Is it?
It is.
What's my lucky number? I don't know. I like most numbers really.
It's very
35.
35.
I like 35.
Interesting.
Nice number though. Yeah.
Pretty nice.
All right, but yeah, thank you very much for joining us, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a lovely week. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment if you can. If you don't do anything at all, your mother will eventually die in her sleep. Yeah. And I can't guarantee that will happen peacefully. It might be very painful for her.
Depending on how we feel at the time when we do it.
Yeah. God bless you all. Amen.
Amen.
Bye.